Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this smoky halo bronze eye look right here. I wanted to do something that was a little more wearable for everybody, and everybody's been asking me for a bronze smoky eye. I wanted to do something a little bit different because there are a million tutorials on bronze smoky eyes out there. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you hit that little bell on the side of the subscribe button so that you get notified when I upload videos. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel, and let's get started. So today I'm going to be using the Dare to Create palette. What else is new? That shade that I'm using is called Sunder, and I'm going to take that on an M513 brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and carve out my crease. You know, I have to make a homemade one because I have hooded eyes, so I need to go a little bit higher than what my natural crease would be. I'm going to actually just put this shade all over my eyelid, and I'm just going to blend that until all of the edges are nice and smooth and they have like an airbrush look to them. I know I've been using the Dare to Create palette a lot in my videos lately, but there is just such a wide range of beautiful colors in this palette, and I have just been so obsessed with it since I got it. So I'm just going to keep blending and blending and blending until I get the look that I'm going for. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take the color Stroke, and I'm going to take that on an E17 brush. And I'm just going to focus that on the outer part of my eye, and then I'm going to end up taking it to the inner corner as well. I want to leave the center of my eye with only that first shade because we're going to go in later and create the halo effect with a shimmer shade. And so what I'm going to do is just blend out both ends of my eye, and then I'm going to just try to connect it from the front to the back, or the back to the front, however you like to do it. And I'm only just going to barely, with barely any product on my brush, just blend those together to make that halo effect. And I'm going to blend out my edges with the M513 again, just to make sure that everything is smooth and seamless. And I will go back and forth between this brush a couple of times and go back to the E17 just to darken it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Expression on that same E17 brush, and I'm going to basically do the same exact thing. I'm going to darken it up on the outer edge and on the inner corner, and then I'm also going to sweep it back and forth with hardly any product on my brush between the front and the back of my lid. And then once again, I'm going to take the M513 and I'm just going to blend it back and forth in windshield wiper motions and make sure that everything is nice and smooth. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut out my halo with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and that brush that I love to use that's tiny and precise, the M170-4SH. And you don't have to do this, you can just go straight in with the shadow, but I feel like this just makes it pop a little bit more, and that's just kind of what I go for in my makeup looks. I love for my shimmers to be really shimmery, and I like for them to really stand out. So I'm just going to carve out like I would do a cut crease, but I'm only going to focus this on the center of my eyelid, and then I'm going to take that little brush and I'm just going to feather that out on each side so that it will blend in with the eyeshadows really well. I am a perfectionist, so you'll see me just keep going back up to the top and perfecting that crease line. Now, I sped this clip up just a little bit because, I mean, I can go on forever with this. I I'm so precise and it takes me a minute. So if you don't do it in like 5 seconds, don't worry, because nobody else does either. I really just want to make sure that it's nice and smooth and blended and that we get exactly what we want. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that shade Artistic, and I'm going to use the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow brush, and I did spritz that with some MAC Fix Plus. And I'm just going to go right over top of where we cut out the halo part, and then I will take the smaller brush again and I will make sure that I use it to get really precise right where I cut that crease out, and then I will blend the edges just a little bit. I still want it to be nice and sharp, and I will also blend the edges where the shadows go, because that part we do want those to blend in really nice together, and we don't want any harsh edges on the side. And I will go back and forth between that and the foiled eyeshadow brush to make sure that it's nice and sparkly, and then I will go back in with the E17 with a little bit of the stroke shade on it, and I will blend that in, and then I will take the M513 and blend the edges back out. The next thing I'm going to do is take a makeup wipe and clean off any of the fallout underneath my eye. And I did put on foundation before I started the video, so I'm going to take the beauty blender that I used to blend out that foundation, and I'm just going to blend that back under my eyes because I don't want to put a lot of concealer under there. And as always, I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer, and I'm just going to blend those two out underneath my eye, but I don't want to go real low because I do suffer from the dry skin on my cheeks, so I want to keep those as clear and free of as much product as I can. And then I'm just going to go in with the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm going to set my under eyes. Now I'm going back in with the shade Sunder, and I'm going to blend that underneath my lash line so that I can get a nice smoky effect. Then I'm going to take a flat definer brush, and I'm just going to go in with the darkest shade that we use, which is Expression, and I'm just going to stamp that right underneath the lash line really nice and tight so that we can blend that out in a minute with the middle shade that we use, which was Stroke. And I'm going to go back in with that same brush, and I'm just going to blend it out. And I did take this all the way to my inner corner because it is a halo eye. I want that smoky effect from start to end of my eye. Now I'm going to go back in with that small precision brush and the shade Artistic, and I did spritz my brush a little bit with some Fix Plus, and I'm just going to focus that on the bottom lash line, and I'm going to put that right in the center, right underneath where we put it on the top, so that it blends and it looks like a very cohesive look. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with the shade Rococo in the Marc Jacobs highliner, and I'm going to put that on my waterline just so that this will look a little bit more smoky. And I'm going to just use my Morphe Beauty Sponge to pull down on my eye so that I can focus that in my waterline without touching the makeup that I have already done. Next, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Kilowatt highlighter in the shade Lightning Dust on an M508, and I'm going to put that on my brow bone to highlight, and then I like to go in with Fire Crystal right after that. This is a duo pan, so both shades are in the same compact. Now I'm just going to throw in some lashes. Okay, now I'm going in with the Hoola bronzer from Benefit, and I'm just going to use that to contour my cheeks a little bit. And if a how-to video on contouring is something that you would like to see, just leave me a comment down below and let me know, and I will try to do that for you. I definitely think contour is important, especially when you have a chubby face like mine. So, I mean, that's how I make my pictures look so much better. Now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to lift my hair up so that I can get into my hairline with the bronzer, because I like to have a really nice snatched forehead, so that my forehead's really big, so I like to make sure that it looks not so big. So I really like to bronze mine up a whole lot. I did put a little too much bronzer on there, but I will blend that out and it will look fine. And then of course I'm going to just bronze up my chin a little bit. And then I'm just going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and I'm going to stamp that on the middle of my forehead with the Beauty Blender. That will just help keep any oil down in that particular area. And then also I'm going to blend it into my contour. And then I'm going to go in and mix both of these blushes. They are from Kylie Cosmetics, and they are in the shades Barely Legal and Virginity. And I'm just going to rub those on my cheeks. I have high cheekbones, so I like to take with barely any product on it and rub it down across my nose and connect it to my cheeks so that it looks a little more natural on my particular facial structure. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go in with my liquid highlighter, which is the Temptu by Boxycharm. This is the only liquid highlighter I have, but I actually really like it. And I'm going to put it on my Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to pat it around my eye and on my cheekbone, just so that we have like a nice C. And if the sunlight was to hit us, that's like naturally where it would be highlighted anyways. And I love this highlighter. I just think it goes on so smooth and so nice, and it doesn't cake up my foundation. And I'm going to put a little bit on my nose, and I'm going to put some on my cupid's bow and a little bit on my chin, and then I'm going to go back up and blend that out on my nose a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with a powder highlight, and I'm going to stick with the Kylie Cosmetics and go in with Strawberry Shortcake. And I'm just going to take an M310, I think it is, an M510, and I'm going to go right over those same spots, and I'm even going to take it up like under my brow bone just a little bit. And then of course I'm also going to take it on my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin again. Just going over the same exact spots. The next thing I'm going to go in with is a matte liquid lipstick, and I'm going to use the Kat Von D in the shade Lolita. I love this shade. The Kat Von D liquid lipsticks are some of my favorite because I feel like they just don't dry down as much and make my lips feel so dry, and they don't bunch up and feel cakey, and sometimes I feel like that I'm not even wearing anything because they are so comfortable. So I'm just going to line my lips with the end of the brush and then fill it in. I like to kind of press my lips together and roll them a little bit so that I get some on my top lip, because I feel like it helps, especially on the bottom of my top lip where I connect to the actual bottom lip. I feel like it just helps me to make a more seamless connection, and it also helps me to match my lips up a little bit better. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with the shade Bow and Arrow, and it is Kat Von D as well, and I'm just going to focus that on the center of my lips so that we can have like kind of an ombre effect. This one is like a little bit browner, but I just wanted it to have a little more depth. And then I'm just going to go in with any brush, and I'm going to blend those two shades together so that it looks seamless, just a touch lighter in the center of my lips. So that concludes my tutorial on this look right here. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this channel, and please share it with all of your friends. I'll see you guys next time.